Hello, my name is Jani. Welcome to my channel. This is a cross stitch channel where we talk about projects and fabric and flosses and designs, and we make plans and topics related to cross stitch. This time I want to make a quick report of the weekend. This last weekend was a 24-hour cross stitch, so it's a really fun activity where we play and share experiences and stitch together. Perhaps not all the 24-hour marathon, but we have a great time. And I tried to stitch as much as I could. I didn't count the hours. I don't count my stitches. I don't count my whips. I don't count my projects. So I didn't count my hours, but I stitch a few hours. But mostly I try to try to use my Instagram to share the joy for this event, and to try to stitch together in the distance and try to have a good time. I record a few videos, live videos on Instagram, where we were stitching together and talking about this experience and having a great time. And it's very interesting, the different experience of stitchers around the world, how we deal with different problematics and try to at the end we are very similar. We stitch similar projects and we enjoy similar things, but we have differences from country or even city to city. And it was really fun to have all these live videos and talk with another stitchers, and we have a great time. And I could stitch. I was able to stitch, and we talk again about our experience as a stitcher and how it's different. For example, many of us stitchers had more than, in my case, more than 30 years stitching, and it's interesting watching the new stitchers, the stitchers who are just beginning with their projects, and they have like 1 year or two in this world, and it's amazing how it's so interesting for them to discover all these new designs and materials and different methods to stitch, and the flosses and which fabric is best, and if they want to stitch with a hoop or stitch in hand, and they are willing to learn and also to share their own experience. And it's fantastic, and it's a great way to create and to make this community grow, helping them. And because many of us have these memories when we start stitching, and you sometimes you got discouraged because of the way you were stitching, and they tried to correct the way you were stitching, and was not always the best way. And I remember a few stitchers. I was just, a young girl, and they gave me their opinion about my stitching, and it's never a good thing when you are trying to learn. So right now we try to encourage the new stitchers, and it's funny, but there is no cross stitch police. It's really true. You need to feel the joy of the stitching, and yes, you can learn, certain methods and techniques, and if you want to stitch with some fabrics or make specialty stitches, there are ways to do it, but you can create your own way. And yeah, it was really, really interesting. And we also talk a little about the difficulties that we have as especially as Latin American countries, with all the materials and the charts, the paper charts that are really expensive to get in our countries. If we want to get a chart, we have to pay, the price of the chart, and then pay the price of the shipping, which is really expensive. And sometimes you have to pay the postal fees, the tariffs, and it's really, really expensive at the end. And we have to wait weeks and weeks for our patterns to arrive. So that's why I always so glad when the designer are giving the option of PDF, because otherwise we don't have the chance to get all these charts. So yeah, please sometimes the PDF option is the only option that we have. Otherwise we can have access to those charts. I finished Newcastle Bouquet last week, and many stitchers asked me about the chart, and they were really, really sad because the price of the chart plus the price of the shipping plus the fees, the tariffs, and also have to wait 8 weeks, 9 weeks to get that chart. It's really, really sad. So yeah, please designers, make the PDF version available. There are a lot of stitchers all around the world who are, willing to pay the PDF version, and have that chance. It's great. So yeah, we have a really we talk about a lot of topic. Of course, the situation in the United States, hoping the best for all our North American friends, and wishing a really peaceful transition and all the best for you. So yeah, it was a very, very good weekend, and I stitched. I was stitching just in one project, because many of the stitchers use the 24-hour of cross stitch for many projects, but I like to focus on one. So I keep stitching in this design by Old Forest. This is Russian windows, and my idea or my goal was to finish all this main window, but I need to finish the central part. But it's so pretty. I'm in love of the design, and the colors of the flosses are really, really nice. I mean, I dyed them, but nevertheless I loved it. And here I finish this window with the little yellow cat, so adorable. So yeah, I'm in love with this design. I was talking about how this composition remind me of the long dog sampler, um, designs, and it's so beautiful, and it's so relaxing, and oh, I'm in love. And besides my hand-eye flosses, I'm using this sulky. It's sulky by Gutermann, and because I needed a darker blue, so I use this one, which is thicker than DMC. So yeah, I use it here. But yeah, sulky, it's an amazing material, and especially in larger samplers, you can use 1 or 2 bobbins of these sulkies. These are 200 meters, 220 yards, and they are great to work with. I have another project using these sulkies. This is Game of Swans, and originally has a lot of colors, but I decided to make it monochromatic, and I'm using this sulky. The number is 4007, and I'm like halfway through, and I love it. I also dyed this fabric. Talking about how, because it's difficult for our countries to get materials, we are obligated to to create our own. So this is a fabric that I get here locally, and I dye the fabric, and to create this mustard tone, and with this floss, I love this combo. It's so crazy and out there, but I love it. So yeah, the use of sulky, it's a great option for projects. So yeah, I will use this in several details across the design, but really happy. And this design, again, it's a PDF, so what else can you ask? And you can get the flosses directly from Old Forest, and they are really pretty. But right now the arrive of materials, it's very slow, so I decided to dye my own flosses, and I'm really happy with the result. And talking about dyeing my own stuff, hashtag doing your own stash. I dyed a few fabrics this weekend, because again, with all the wonderful channels and all this information that we get from our cross stitch community, everything that everyone is showing, I wanted. So I decided to dye some fabrics for future samplers. And I love when different stitchers and Flosstube channel show their fabric. So I decided to dye my own and act like I receive all these beautiful fabrics in the mail. So yeah, the idea was to make this very neutral, very antique fabric, for samplers. So I'm using this 36 cotton that I get here, and I did all these very similar and not, there are different, but fabric. This yellow one, it's so pretty, and this is very much out there, more bold. This one is so nice. It's very similar to the fabrics from Picture This Plus, you know, the fabrics they use for the samplers. So I got my my sampler fabric, and these small cuts again. I don't usually stitch small projects, but there are a lot of beautiful samplers, you know, small samplers or medium samplers. And again, with PDF option, I want to stitch everything. And I also dye these two fabrics. There are more not very traditional sampler style, but I watch a sampler in a gray fabric. I had to add something else, so I added a few spots or few yellow color, and I love it. Looks so pretty. And this lavender one, I in love. I also watch one of the samplers in a lavender fabric, and they look so pretty. And for this fabric, I have a lot of little you know, specks of color. Let's say it was a happy accident because it was not really planned, but I love it. Looks like the yarn, you know, the way they dye yarn for knitting, and they add the little specks, and looks really pretty. So yeah, that was my inspiration. Let's put it that way. And I love it. So again, I have almost you know, a project in my future for each fabric, and I love to create my own my own stash, and it's really easy. I don't have to wait for the postal service, and I can have it anytime. So yeah, that was my 24-hour weekend, you know, stitching and having fun and talking with stitchers around the world, and stitching, and you know, um, trying to make this world a better place, a better place with our stitching. And it really is true, because we add color and art and labor and, you know, everything, and beauty to the world. So yeah, I hope you all have a great week. Take care of yourself, take care of your family. Happy stitching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.